Kawasaki of number 9 Bontempi. Akira Yanagawa comes through, and then Scott Russell, who I am sure must have a problem with that machine. He's keeping going. The determination of Scott Russell this year has never been in question, but the motivation to actually just lift his game back to being a race winner again has been questioned. And well, he stays out on the track even when he's got a problem with the bike. Yes, nail-biting stuff from Michaela Fogarty. Keep an eye on that pit, because Michaela celebrates like a true party animal should.
Absolutely. There's Hubby, now well in the lead, Carl Fogarty. And as we saw from the close-up shot, he's got that Ducati's rear tyre squirming for grip. Carl is on the pace. He's done 2 doubles here in the past. For Ducati, it's historically a Ducati sort of track. And here he goes again. But Keith, after the sort of laid-back, almost not interested air to his interview he gave between the races, it was almost impossible to believe he was going to come out and do this.
You can never believe from his actions exactly what he's going to do in the next race, Carl Fogarty. In my view, he can be as down as they come, and he comes out fighting. Michaela's given him encouragement from pit lane.
Team orders.
And at the end of the day, you never really know. You can never predict with Carl Fogarty what he may do. The amount of times I said he might finish second or third and he goes out and wins, I've given up on him now.
Well, we should know better by now, but we keep saying it.
He's certainly not a predictable fellow anyway, and he did sound down and slightly subdued when we interviewed him before this race.
And tests have shown that when he's argumentative and almost, well, whingy, to use the wrong word, that's when he's quick, because he feels the world's against him.
Well, maybe he's maturing. He is nearly 32 years old now, poor old boy.
Oh, what a shame, yeah.
There's second place man, Aaron Slight. He is 32 years old, and this could be, well, maybe he's got a year left, possibly, I suppose, but once you start getting to 32, you get to the outer reaches of interest as far as Grand Prix and World Superbike teams are concerned.
He is certainly interested in going touring car racing. He's had quite a lot of races at home in Australia and New Zealand, had an outing in a Honda at Donington Park at the end of the year as well. And of course, not generally that well known, that Carl Fogarty had quite a few laps around Alton Park in a Vauxhall touring car.
Carl Fogarty's a bike racer. At the end of the day, I can't see him switching to 4 wheels for anything other than a bit of a play. Aaron Slight is actually quite talented in a touring car. He's driven very, very well indeed, so maybe someone could poach him away. He's certainly getting to the time of life where he might fancy not being beaten up on the track quite as much as he has been on 2 wheels. Of course, it is a lot safer in a car. Doesn't hurt half as much when you go in the gravel track.
Yes, or to that nasty Armco stuff we've got a nice shot of there. But certainly Vauxhall are very interested in Carl Fogarty's potential as a touring car racer.
Carl Fogarty goes through turn 1 very, very smoothly. 2 laps to go, under 2 laps to go. I think all these men have settled for their position now. Carl certainly, well, he looks as if he'd smoothed it up slightly. Aaron Slight definitely is taking second place. He's happy enough with that. I think Corser is in a very safe third. Likewise Haga, likewise Keeley. Bontempi and Yanagawa have got a bit of a dispute going on there with a tenth of a second between them. Russell, I think, will get 8th, despite the fact he's not going to be happy with it. But Fogarty, from the light change, has controlled this race from the front. He has looked absolutely superb. He got aggressive when it counted. I thought this man, Troy Corser, would come better as the race went on.
I did too.
But he certainly hasn't picked the pace up since Aaron Slight went by. So Corser is going for a world championship, not a race win.
Yes, maybe that's what we'll see from Troy this year. He's always been, as we keep saying, a man with his eyes on the prize. He will not take unnecessary risks. Most of his wins we saw in his championship year when he had the setup absolutely perfect and he ran away from it.
But of course it is Carl Fogarty who's gained 9 points on Troy Corser in this race, if it finishes as it is at the moment. And those 9 points are very helpful indeed. It will mean Corser isn't going to leave Albacete with a runaway lead in the series.
7 points by my admittedly dubious mathematics.
Well, that's fine by me. Number 10 moves out of the way. Andy Stroud, the New Zealander, on the Kawasaki. Oh, he hasn't, you know. Well, Fogarty will wave something at him.
Oh, Andy Stroud.
Very, very disrespectful there from Andy Stroud. So Stroudy proving some kind of a point. I don't know who to, but I'd like to see Carl Fogarty's language. Hang on.
No, I think he's already said it.
Yeah, I think the sign language has already been done and dusted while he was off camera, which is probably not a bad thing to be done.
The Pirovano move, as it's known.
Race leader. That was the first dramatic moment that Carl Fogarty's had all day. Last lap. Foggy has just got to cruise to the end.
Well, British fans have their fingers crossed. Aussie fans, I suspect, will be happy enough with seeing Troy Corser lead with a championship lead.
And David Tardozzi's likely to be fairly happy as well, because the look on his face after Fogarty crashed out of the controversial Super Pole yesterday.
As David went looking for some Flamini people to talk to again, just like at Donington.
They employ big people at Flamini, though.
You have to be to stop an angry Tardozzi.
So Foggy, not far to go now, takes a long, cautious look over his shoulder to see who's around. It's only Andy Stroud at the minute, and he's lapped.
Well, Foggy's second win of the year coming up. The first one, of course, was the first race of the year in Phillip Island.
Well, of course, that'll put Ducati on 3 wins alongside Yamaha's 3 wins in your favourite manufacturers' championship stakes, Julian.
The one of Bologna versus Suzuka. Yes,
here we go then. Carl Fogarty,
yes.
Anthony Bass and wife Michaela celebrate, as does Carl, with a mammoth wheelie over the line. Thank you. All systems normal then. Slighty in second place there, wheeling likewise on bike 111. It's going to be Corser in third on bike 11 and Haga in fourth. But Carl Fogarty has rescued the situation in race 2 in Spain. What a finish to the race.
All those Union Jack toting fans around the circuit who've endured a soggy weekend in central Spain can go home happy. There's the Ducati Performance pit. There's their rider, Aaron Slight, coming into view in second place. A useful ride from Aaron, but I don't think it's ecstatic.
Congratulations coming there, I think, from Aaron. Aaron, yes,
yep,
and Carl nods in acknowledgement. Oh, very nice to see. And quite uncharacteristic for Carl to be smoky and enjoying himself. This is unusual.
Well,
and Haga as well. Well, I have to say, that's a great sight, isn't it? The fact is that everyone congratulating Carl Fogarty at the end of a race. So sportsmanship, they all appreciate a good ride. Interesting as well, Haga, you don't usually want to get near him, even on the slowing down lap.
Yes, it was the wind in Phillip Island caught him, and he ended up stabbing Troy Corser in the leg with a footrest.
There is a typical Corser stand-up wheelie.
Motocrossers eat your heart out.
Yeah, but he's not doing it with 1 foot on the pegs and only 1 hand on the handlebars.
He does it with 1 foot on the pegs, though, does Troy. Come on, you've seen the old the Jeremy McGrath.
Yeah, but not while he's in the air.
No, true. All right, then. OK, I give up.
There it is, then. Beating you into submission. Fogarty has done it to Slight, and Corser in third. Haga fourth, Keeley fifth, Bontempi, Yanagawa, Goddard snuck Russell as well. So Russell's problems were almost terminal. Russell ends up in ninth. Jamie Whittam, having done well, what must have been a mile in the sand pit with a big rooster tail out, gets the Suzuki into 10th place.
Good points,
and the points that go with it. Delatang in 11th. Igor Sherman 12th. Protap Hodgson 14th. So Hodgson gets back out there and finishes 14th and gets a couple of points.
Did you see the Corser leg over wheelie that time, dude? OK, not a handoff, I grant you. Formation wheeling from through the top. A smiling Tardozzi for the first time this weekend, I think.
Well, the tension of Albacete with the pressures on a team manager when the weather goes terrible. It's just awful. It really is a heavyweight pressure.
As a rider, do you look to your team to make decisions for you then?
Well, pretty much. There is, well, Corser still leads the championship. No wins, as Julian has said, 135 points. Yes, you were right, Julian, your mathematics. 7 points to lead over Fogarty. Haga slips 5 points further back from Fogarty, slips to third. Slight moves up back to fourth. Keeley is fifth. Edwards slips down to sixth. So Keeley remains in fifth place. Yanagawa, Goddard, Whittam and Hodgson round out the top 10.
Edwards, as you saw, didn't finish and didn't score, so I think that bike we saw in the sandpit must have been Colin Edwards. Slight goes from 6th before this race to 4th. So Aaron, 2 points higher up than he started.
Yeah, really a bad weekend for Honda. Michaela Fogarty and, of course, Carl. And we will be able to get that interview very soon, for sure. Jonathan Green is with Carl Fogarty, so with luck we'll be able to hear that later.
I think they're not too good, but